Got one, guys. So we have to downsize a worm. Oh, that's a big fish. Yes, it's a nice fish. Oh no, it's going down. That's a nice fish. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel DMO Fishing. Today we're fishing on the month of September, one of the toughest months to fish for bass, but it doesn't have to be that way, so let's talk about it. So to start with, guys, you gotta know the reasons why September is the most difficult for most people. Sometimes I do struggle as well to catch some fish, and there's many reasons for this. So one of the reasons why fishing can be a little bit difficult on September is because these fish have been conditioned by all the lures. All summer long, they have seen every single type of lure that's out there, especially in those ponds that are really pressured like this one. So they've seen every lure out there, and they know that's not a real meal, and they're gonna be hesitating to buy your lure, especially if you're using the same lures. We're gonna be talking about which lures are the most efficient around this time later on in the video. Now, the second reason why it can be a little bit difficult is because the weather around September, we start getting those cold nights, and during those cold nights, the fish, they start transitioning to the winter spot. So they'll be moving around. They're not gonna be on the same areas you've been catching them all summer. They're gonna be moving and transitioning to a winter spot. So it can be a little bit difficult to locate these fish. And I think the most important reason why it can be a little bit difficult is because you got bait everywhere. If you have a shad in your lake, in your pond, you're gonna be a lot of small fry. And if you have bluegill, the same thing. So shad and bluegill spawn during the spring, and by now those little fries are pretty small, but they already are a meal for these bass. And then you're gonna see them busting the water following the big balls of bait. It's gonna be difficult for them to go for your regular lures because they have so much bait available for them, and they're gonna be eating, guys. They're gonna be eating a lot of bait, so they get ready for winter. But with that said, we're gonna be moving on into the baits that you should be using around this time. Of course, this is my personal opinion, guys. You don't have to take this to the heart. This is what I think. I know there's a lot of videos out there about bass fishing, and people have their own opinions. Some people make it super technical. I'm just gonna try to keep it really simple for you guys and what my experience have been. So let's get into the baits that you should be using this September. A lot of ball on the carp right there. Got one. Got the surf. Stuck on something. Oh, that's a nice one. Let's go. Got one, guys. So we have to downsize a worm. Oh, that's a big fish. Yes, it's a nice fish. Oh no, it's going down. That's a nice fish. Look at that. Keep tension there. I will try to grab it. It's barely hooked. No, don't speed it. It's barely hooked. Come on. Come here. Ah, there we go. That's a healthy fish right there, guys. Look at this. That's a beautiful fish right there. Jesus, took me all morning. Look at that hook. It's right there. Beautiful fish. Probably like 3 pound. A 3-pounder. Look at that belly hook. Oh my God. All right, guys, I'm a little shaky, but look at this freaking fish right there, guys. All right, guys, I'm a little shaky, but Look at this fish right here. It's definitely over 17 inches. It's around 3 pounds. Decent fish right there. Can't get in the camera that well. I'm gonna try to get a front view of it. All right, guys. That's the first one of the day, guys. It's been a slow day. Decent fish. He's fat and ready. So we had to downsize some worm. I put a 4-inch worm, and he bit right away. Pretty much as soon as I downsize. Look at that big bucket right there. So big kiss to the camera, and we're gonna let him go. All right, guys. I didn't have my net ready, but look at this fish, man. We'll make sure that he's good to go. Big 4-pounder right there. Probably 4 pounds. It's a heavy fish. It's a fat one. It's great for the first fish of the day. I'm glad we kept at it. I mean, we've been trying jigs. We're trying all kind of stuff. Come on, buddy. There he goes. Okay, guys, so let's talk about the baits here. I'm gonna give you my top 5, but it's not gonna be specific baits. I don't wanna make this too complicated. It's gonna be more like the type of bait you wanna be using. So number 5, we're gonna be going with the swing jig, guys. This is the swing jig. You can pair it with a crawl creature, whatever preference you have on brands, but you wanna make sure it's a compact jig. This is a smaller jig. It's still a swing jig, but it's smaller than usual. So the thing about all these bait is gonna be the size, guys, because like I told you before, the fry is not adult size on the bait. Whatever it is, it's not an adult shad, it's not an adult bluegill. It's gonna be a smaller size fish. So you gotta keep in mind, you wanna try to downsize your bait to be able to match the hatch. And you know, matching the hatch always works. So with that said, through all these baits, you're gonna see a pattern of downsizing the baits. And on number 1 bait that I like to use during this time, you're gonna see it specifically the exact same bait that I've been using summer, but I'm just gonna downsize it. But through all these baits that I'm talking about, the main focus is downsizing your bait. So yeah, number 5, just use a swimming jig. You can use it with a smaller trailer, a smaller crawl creature. I mean, there's so many out there. John makes a small one that's really good. So whatever you like to use, but the swing jig is definitely one of the ones I like to use, especially in the compact, smaller jig. It's still a swimming jig, but it's just a little bit smaller than your regular jig size. All right, guys, this next one is gonna be a little controversial, but believe me, my whole point is to catch as many fish as you can when you go out there. And I just want to keep it real, guys. If you're not catching anything, you might be willing to use this, but this is actually a net rig, guys. Net rigs are controversial because a lot of people don't like to fish with them. They say they catch small fish, but if you're catching and you're looking to catch numbers, you want to use one of these. This is a Z-Man net rig right here, head. And I usually pair it with the Finesse TRD, but you can use something a little bit bigger. With this is the neck BLT. So these baits right here, smaller profile, which is the whole point. You want to bring down your profile to a smaller size. You can bump it in the bottom, and you can catch fish that way. It works a lot. I caught a lot of fish with this. A lot of people hate to fish nets, but I believe that if you're catching fish, it doesn't matter how you do it as long as you're having fun, right? So yeah, nets, heads, and a net rig will definitely bring you some fish, especially on those really hot days where the transitions happen. And you can actually cover a lot of water using one of these, because you're bumping out, you know, and then you move on. You throw it out there, bumping on the bottom, and then move on. So try one of these, you might catch a few. All right, guys, my number 3 bait is gonna be square bill, guys. Just a regular square bill. This is a great bait for fall, but the key about this again is downsizing. This is not a big square bill. This is a square A, really small square bill. But if you see any fish busting the bait, you want to target that and use one of these, and the sound is going to attract those fish away from the actual bait, and you might get a hit, guys. So square bill, try to keep it in a smaller size. Downsize again, You don't want to use the huge extra large square bills. This one is tiny compared to the big ones I have. So square bill, a smaller profile, smaller size, you'll catch fish. Okay guys, the next bait I want to recommend on fall, September, is gonna be one of these underspins, guys. Just a regular underspin. There's, like I said, so many brands and so many different underspins. Everybody knows which one is the best. Everybody's out there telling you buy this, buy that. This one I picked it up at Academy Sports. I mean, it just look good, it works, and you can pair that with some downside lures. These are the ones I like to use because I like the color right there, and it resembles a bluegill. So on this pond specifically, I like to use this color because there's a lot of bluegill in here. Not a lot of shad, but a lot of bluegill. So pair these two, and that's definitely a good bait that you need to try. And I have a different one here as well. This is a 6 cents Divine underspin. Also a great underspin that you can get. Like I said, if you want to spend the big bucks, get the brand you like, or you want to go cheap, just get one of these. You should be able to catch a fish on them. Okay, my number one bait that I would like to recommend you guys is gonna be a really simple bait, guys. I mean, I try to keep it real and honest with you guys. I just doing this out of my experience. I know everybody likes to get super technical, super detailed, and I feel like that is cool if you're into that, but I just want to help you to catch more fish and be real about it. So during the whole summer, I've been fishing a 5-inch Senko, weedless and weightless, and I've been pitching that on the shore, on the shallows, and catching a lot of fish that way, okay? But if you've been doing that all summer, 100, maybe 1,000 people have been doing it. So now these fish are conditioned to that size of bait, and especially now they're eating on a smaller fry, so they are conditioned to eat small bait. So with a 5-inch Senko, it's gonna be difficult for you to get bites, and I'm being honest about that. So even though I love that bait, it wasn't doing it for me. I've been storming a few times, pull out a 5-inch Senko, throw it out there like it's summertime, and it's not doing it, guys. So what I did was I decided to downsize the rig, okay? So I went from a 3/0 hook to a 2/0 hook, and I went from a 5-inch Senko to a 4-inch Senko. And believe me, the difference don't sound dramatic, but it actually makes a huge difference on how many bites you get. So with that said, that is my number one. Just a 4-inch Senko, whatever color you want to get, whatever brand you want to get. I personally like Yamamoto Senkos. My favorite color is a bluegill color, which is green pumpkin or maybe watermelon with red flakes. That color is a killer in this pond. I caught many fish using that, and just fish it out there, weightless, no weight on it, and you will definitely catch a fish. With that said, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. A lot of people watch the videos, not a lot of people subscribe. Please subscribe. If you like it, don't forget to hit like. If you have a different opinion, let me know your 5 top baits for September. And with that said, I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.